body plan will be from my next in-between. I've got the body plan there, and I'm brainstorming on that page just to keep myself on track. I decided I wanted a background for my angler drawing. I didn't need a city, but I was trying to make one because having the architecture of a city would help me make the innards of the city, like the innards of the buildings. The deep ocean is mostly open ocean, but it does have the benthic continental shelf, so I thought maybe the city could be cut into the continental shelf. And I wrote Petra first because it's what I remembered the name of first, but I always actually remember Cliff Palace first. It was built by the ancestral Pueblo people, and it's relatively near me, and I think it's beautiful and amazing. So I decided that was going to be like my inspiration for the architecture, and I was going to go with that. But I decided I did not want to use the fanfin sea devil, which was the anglerfish I had been using as my inspiration. So I went looking for others, and I decided on the soft Leftvent anglerfish, Huron called Ghostly Sea Devil for speed. And for some reason when I was on Wikipedia looking into it, Australia popped out to me. Lots of places are mentioned, but Australia was the one that popped out to me. So I was like, does Australia have any cliff cities at all? And it doesn't, so far as I can tell, but it does have a cave city, possibly more than one, but the one I found in specific was Gabarnmung, which belongs to the Jawoyn people. I'm probably saying that wrong. And I found it very inspirational and beautiful. And so it seemed only right then to make this anglerfish an Aboriginal mer. I did go and look into the Jawoyn people. They have a Jawoyn Association site. It doesn't look like it's been updated super recently, but I looked into everything it had on their culture on there. I looked into as much as I could to try and be respectful of a culture I know very little about. From what I could find, there's very little in particular offensive about telling a dude, "Bilk off." Then I used the pictures on the Jawoyn Association site and Google Images to find pictures of Aboriginal people. Different ethnicities and races have different facial features, and it's important if you're trying to depict someone of a specific ethnicity or race that you use the facial features they have. I'm sure I didn't pull it off perfectly, but I did what I could with what I had. If I have filthed up, misunderstood, or done anything offensive in any way, let me know. I will do everything I can to fix my mistake. One of the reasons there's no footage of me drawing the original face of this mer is because I was going through so many images and doing my research, and my hands were all over the place, and there was a lot of dead time in the footage, so I just didn't bother. So now we get on to the point where I'm trying to merge her with the anglerfish, make her look like this fish. Look like she could maybe be a relative of this fish, I suppose. So I went back to looking into the fish. It's really hard to find pictures of this fish. What a shocker. Hard to find pictures of an anglerfish? No shame. So I found one by Dante Fenolio. Most of the good ones were actually by him. And I was looking up a way to credit him. His site has not been updated since like 2014. And I was worried he was dead. Turns out he's not. I found him on LinkedIn. Glad you're alive, Dante. If you ever want me to take this down, I will. If not, thank you for the picture. So you might notice some non-standard things about this anglerfish. It does not look like it has a lure. It does. That bubble thing on its nose, in quotes, above its mouth is its lure. The Elysium, the modified dorsal fin that it's got that makes the dangly bit of the lure, is really short on this particular angler, which means the Esca, that is that bubble thing above its mouth. I won't say I thought long and hard about this decision, but I did put some consideration into whether or not I should give her a standard looking lure, because I want her to be recognizable as an anglerfish. But I ultimately decided that I wanted more for her to look like the anglerfish I had picked because I thought it looked cool. I went with rule of cool instead of going for the clue into the audience that she's an anglerfish. This is not always the right decision, and it might not even be the right decision in this case, but it is the decision I made, and it is something you should consider when doing character creation. One of the things I didn't even consider, because I knew it would be a bad idea, was making her translucent. This anglerfish, the ghostly sea devil, does not have pigment, so you can see through it to its bones and its musculature. At no point did I consider making her skin translucent. Not ever. Because I knew it would be too, not disorientating, distracting from the image I wanted. So I chose not to be true to the fish in that way. And that was not even something I considered doing, despite knowing that the fish had that trait, because I knew it would be inherently detrimental to add that trait to my image and to my character design. You always have to balance what your personal preference is versus what the audience will need to understand your image for what it is. I apparently know more about anglerfish than seems to be the standard. I didn't even consider mentioning in my first in-between that the tiny little merman was tiny because of the sexually parasitic nature of anglers. That's just something I've known for so long that I didn't consider people might not know it. And that is something you need to consider. You need to consider where your own knowledge lies and also where your visual cues are, because some people are going to see specific things and be keyed in to what you're trying to do, and other people are going to need a more obvious key in. So you're going to need to know your audience and who you're trying to present your character to and what you want to get across with that character most, and accentuate those features. One of the reasons I'm okay with not giving this character obviously anglerfish features is because she's for in between where I've been showing her and talking about her being an anglerfish since the beginning. So anyone who's been following that, and therefore the audience for this image, is going to know that she's an anglerfish already. I don't need to add the lure, a long dangly lure or things like that. People should know if they care. Back to the image. I am drawing her body now. She will not have breasts. She is not a mammal. She is in a static pose, and that's because I cared more about building out the body than making anything visually interesting. This is a reference picture, not a finished image. I enjoy drawing a broad build, so that is what I did. And being able to add muscles to a broad build is always fun, so I thought I would. And also, living so deep in the ocean, the pressure involved in that, I thought it was a good excuse to give her lots of muscles. More than I thought she would need them, because, I mean, mermaids are fictional. But I thought it was a good excuse to be like, yeah, she needs all that body mass and all that muscle to deal with the pressure of the depths of the sea. The farther down her body I move, the more trouble I have, because the more fish-like her body becomes and the more I'm trying to meld the anatomy. So right now in the chest, I'm really not having that much trouble. I'm being very picky about it, but I'm not actually having trouble. I'm just being fussy, because I can. It's my drawing, I can be fussy if I want to. It's my party, I'll cry if I want to. Here is where I start kind of having problems with getting it right. And you see I go back to my body plan to kind of see what I'm trying to do here and get her, I don't even know what to call her back, whatever that is on her back, like her fishy back in the right place. And I'm trying to build that out, and I'm also trying not to give her hips at all, because she doesn't have hips. Also, because of the way I built the body plan, she doesn't have any muscles in her lower abdomen, so I'm trying to make sure that it looks like her upper abdominals are moving into something smooth that doesn't have any muscle in it, but still has shape and form, which was hard, and I think I pulled it off. I think I did. I certainly got sick of trying, but I think I managed something serviceable. And there's the final design.